think if you have been stomped 2 games in a row, where you have tried and tried and tried to play around bottom lane, you go like, you know what, boys, this isn't working. They're predicting it. Our coordination just isn't there. Let's try and get like Kikis on a carry and try and snowball him instead.
And what we were talking about in the break is we think Fnatic need to be in a situation where they're first rotationing Sivir Elise, potentially giving the Echo to H2K in rotation 1. That's what we were talking about, perhaps is the best option, and then look to counter it later on.
Yeah, there's some key things we want. Spirit needs to be on a jungler where he can actually be a lot more active early on, just to try and snowball these lanes, because Jankos is able to match his farm, but also have more impact on the map, and that obviously is a problem. Fnatic as well, I understand it because the meta is very focused around the 2v2 and getting on that first tower, that they're playing around it, but it's almost like they're trying too hard to like make it happen in that 2v2 lane. And a third, I don't want to see Braum. He's not that great. Please do not early pick him. Please just go like Tahm Kench or Taric or something.
Alright, so Tahm Kench or Taric, that's what we're looking for YellowStaR. Or Trundle. Anything that's not Braum is basically what Official wants. The Echo question is out the door. Another top lane ban. Gnar is removed from the pool. Elise is still up and has been one of the interesting things this series.
Well, now it's the 2 junglers. We could see the Nidalee come out here as a last ban. And then
Shen's open.
Ooh, whoa.
If they're giving over Shen to H2K, it's because Fnatic want to run something like Fiora against it. And try, and so the way like you play against Shen, there are 2 options. Either you try and match some of the global, so that's why Gangplank is in there, and you outscale him, or you run something that can split push against him like a Fiora, like a Trundle.
I mean, Jankos he looks like he's celebrating already.
They might not pick it, like H2K might not go for it because they're like a jungle choice for them as well in Italy. Obviously, Odoamne here, this is a shout out to Reddit, who called him a Maokai only and a Ramos only player, these 2 picks, because they had point and click CC. He's shown today that he's more than Maokai and Ramos players. I think Shen is a great first choice.
Yeah, he's got like point and click and you flash and you get multi-people CC. It's not quite the same kind of thing. You obviously with the skill shot, but a little bit more difficult. We'll see if he's up to task on it, because it would give Fnatic the Nidalee Sivir, possibly if they're looking to take that solid jungle matchup. The Gragas is the one that we have seen as well coming from them. I prefer Gragas in a team setting. We know that Spirit likes his Nidalee though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you get Nidalee now with Rekkles gone, so that was why Fnatic were okay giving over Shen. And again, I want to see a split pusher now against the Shen. I want to see something like Fiora or Trundle for Kikis, and you try and set him up to carry this game against the Shen, but it is very difficult. This is obviously the other traditional choice against Shen, because you have a global and you can outscale. But again, this is a pick that requires a lot of coordination from Fnatic, which is what they've shown they
don't have.
And Odo is never ever pushing against Kikis in this setup. Like, you are never going to get to tower. So now we get to see how H2K react, looking for their jungle matchup after. I mean, it's got to be the Gragas at that point. It's pretty much the only remaining jungle pick that is left. Maybe they take the Sivir here.
I mean, people in the past have liked to play Sin against Nidalee. Hit level 6, have double longsword, and you try and one-shot her when she's still squishy. That is just an old matchup, obviously. For junglers, there are, as you said, Gragas is available, Olaf is available. There are definitely other choices. We get to see Fnatic once again build around the bottom lane with the Gangplank pick. As we said before, you know, there are 2 things against Shen. Either you go split pushing or you go for something that outscales him and also has a global, which is why Gangplank is in the mix. Wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but I can't blame them.
Alright, so no answers yet on the support story that we were talking a lot about. We've seen the top laners.
But they did first rotation, and that's it.
Exactly.
That's a win.
The reason that I bring this up now, at what point do we see Sivir taken away? Does Febiven and Vander get their hands on their duo lane now? Do they stick with a safe, not reveal anything and wait for Fnatic?
I mean, they could Karma if they want to, just have a potential flex choice, but
whoa, hang on.
I like the Sivir.
I'm not so keen on the Vlad, because Febiven is a Cassio player, and we have seen multiple games out of it. So now, depending on how the rest of the map settles itself, you could very well give Fnatic the ability to last pick one of their bottom lane here, see what the bottom lane matchup is, take the Cassiopeia here and adjust the tempo on their draft, like change where your last pick goes.
Yeah, will Fnatic once again go for the Lucian against Sivir and try and win that 2v2 lane, have the pressure in that lane? So Vladimir, like, I look at something like Vladimir, Lissandra as blind picks. While they have counters and have issues, there are no perfect blind pick in the current meta, and Ryu has been very successful on Vlad today. So it's hard to blame him, and I think you can see how H2K want to safe support in case they see Braum again. They can go Taric once again. They don't want to early pick the Taric, risk a ranged matchup, a ranged support against him. Don't want to see Azir. That's definitely one thing. So we get the Lucian.
Okay.
And we get the Cassiopeia.
Okay, there we go. The Cassiopeia is in. It's a comfort matchup in here, and I like not locking their support. We don't typically see this a whole lot, but it does affect the way the bottom lane matchup is going to go for H2K. Now we have to see what H2K want to pair here. Do they go for a ranged matchup, take the Karma for themselves? Do they feel like YellowStaR is going to play a matchup like the Braum again, and they just go Taric and force their hand if it ends up in that scenario? A lot of questions still to be answered.
The biggest one for me, have Fnatic magically found a way to communicate and play together as a team? Because once again, they have a team composition that is highly nuanced, that is no traditional front line, and there's no room for error. Their backs are against the wall, and these picks have to work out for Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic right now, they're picking very much for lane. They're saying, you know what, we can get counter picks. We have Lucian against Sivir, we have Cassiopeia against Vladimir, we have Gangplank against Shen. We try and win the early game with our Nidalee as well and snowball the game like Hecarim.
Yeah.
It's not a great choice versus Nidalee. It's a very risky choice.
It's a risky choice, but paired with the Shen is typically the setup that is good for getting fights started. Now, against the Sivir, we have seen Trundle time and time again. It's obviously one of the lane matchups that actually does fairly well with the Lucian there. Maybe that we'll see the impact from that. So a lot of questions, and it's all on what YellowStaR wants to play.
I mean, if we look at H2K's comp, it looks fantastic when you combine all of them together. But you need to get out of laning phase first, and this is where the Hecarim will really struggle. He doesn't have enough early impact to really do a whole lot against Nidalee. You have some losing lane matchups, or some matchups where you're going to be under pressure on the side of H2K. Like, this is on Fnatic now, snowballing this game, and actually really punishing these different lanes on the side of H2K when there is no lane swap, so you know it's going to be standard lanes. And Spirit needs to be in Jankos' jungle 24/7.
And I feel like that's a gamble that H2K feel is a lot more likely now. Looking at the first few games of this series, Fnatic have had minor leads perhaps in individual lanes, but have never pulled it all together throughout this entire series. And now again, they have a composition where they're going to need to pull everything together once again. Good lanes, no real frontline as you were talking about.
Oh, and it is, as you said, you know, it's H2K not respecting that Fnatic can actually snowball the early game properly, get to 2 or 3 items on the side of H2K, and then have an absolutely fantastic composition with tons of AoE, dive against the backline with Hecarim, Shen, Vander on his Taric, which is one of the best team fighting supports in the game. But early game is where Fnatic needs to win this game here. Strong matchups, counter matchups. Can they do it?
I said it in game 2 that I liked Fnatic's slightly more simple team composition, made it a little easier to read. They've simplified it even further. Win lane, win game. They're throwing everything into that one. Nico and Crowley shaking hands for what could be the last time today. And that man on your screen, YellowStaR, we questioned his ability throughout the series, throughout some of the split. Got his hands on Trundle now. Not going to be the Braum. This is a step in the right direction. And we know how good that matchup is into the Sivir in particular. And obviously Lelouchian's there as well. So for Fnatic, for this duo lane, for the decision-making process, there is no more room for mistakes.
No, and Fnatic have gone away from running TP in mid because it was very hard for Febiven to have proper impact. Obviously, we saw in the last game when they finally did set up that one play on the bottom side. It came in a little bit too late for them. The coordination wasn't quite there. We do have a pause.
Odo's client just didn't load up, so it's just being rebooted. He will be up in just a moment or two. And then we'll get into what is game 3 of the series.
And Odo, pro play technique when you do drink. It's too much effort to move your mic, so you just tilt your head instead.
Casters do that one as well. Let's try it.
We try, but our mic's a little bit further away sometimes.
That's
a little more to the side of your mouth and not right in front like most of the players. But that is some mic talk.
Not a mic check, all right?
Mic
this
talk.
is mic talk.
This is the mic stream.
Okay.
Where we discuss how players have... See, YellowStaR right in the middle with his microphone right there because he's communicating a lot, so you have to drink like this.
Talking about communication, EU LCS 2, bot lane streamers Sven and Mithy, they're going to be watching very eagerly because something that we've not mentioned a lot on the caster desk, if Fnatic lose this game, if H2K are victorious in the series, G2 Esports are guaranteed worlds. Either first seed for winning summer or second seed for championship points. The crowd cheering means we are about to load up into game. There's a little bit of spam in the Rift. And we're loading up for H2K taking on Fnatic.
Well, we'll see if some spam from Twin Fang can help Fnatic in this one because Febiven on the Cassiopeia, has the ability to carry. We talked about no teleport for him in this game. But if he can get ahead, we've seen Cassiopeia go completely off. Maybe that is what Fnatic need to channel right now. 2015 Febiven. You've written it down all week. I've seen your notes, Deficio.
2015 Fnatic.
Febiven wrote it down himself.
Huni ran over, steps back in. Suddenly, 18-0 Fnatic is back. It's been a year since the 18-0 Fnatic was a thing.
And it's been a rough
year. Definitely been a rough year for Fnatic, the organization, the team. Roster changes, management changes.
Well, listen, the crowd doesn't care about the story, Deficio. They're just happy Fnatic had the damage advantage.
They're clapping due to the story.
I think they're clapping.
Great story,
I think they're clapping due to the damages that Fnatic are doing.
See the story.
Hijacking their enthusiasm.
An insight into the mind of Deficio. Every applause is for
his story.
Inside my brain is that little toy monkey just clapping. Dook, dook, dook. And then League of Legends. That's all I got.
So many people won't understand the wealth of context behind all of this that makes it so true.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a little ward there. Going to spot out Jankos and Odo. Then move into the blue Sentinel for the first time. No real surprises this time round, though. Rekkles and YellowStaR are going to do their Gromp, while Febiven and Vander start the Krugs.
They're actually not wasting their time trying to set up a little play in the bush, because now they can actually do a camp themselves. I could also have done it before. They just decided not to. Now it's going to be even. It's going to be rush for level 2 for AD carries. Lucian will definitely get the better of that if he gets his level 2. But again, there's not for us to talk about. For the other stream. We instead want to talk about Febiven.
Okay.
And it's Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
After we get forced to talk about the bottom lane, because we're down here looking at it, Vander misses his stun.
All the trades.
That's good damage coming out from Fnatic. But then again, they did this in last game as well.
Yeah, minimal.
They have been okay in the early game. This hasn't been the problem. It's been like the post-6, all of the attention that was shown to the 2v2 that followed.
Still, we mentioned Fnatic having to win these lanes here, especially mid and bot lane. Set up Spirit so you can invade on Hecarim. What Hecarim wants to do, it used to be actually Sheen first, but now Phage is actually better. People figured out Phage is just overall better both ganking and farming. Once you sit on that Phage, you're actually not that strong. You just want to keep farming, keep farming, keep farming. You want to Trinity Force. Mid lane can destroy you. They're going aggressive bottom lane.
But not only that, Jankos is going mid.
Oh, take a look at this devastating charge. Jankos gets him! Delivers Febiven! He does it again! 3 games for 3. First blood to Jankos.
We said Spirit needs to get in Jankos jungle. He needs to disrupt the farm. Jankos said, I don't care. I'm going mid lane. I'm getting the devastating charge down, getting the lockdown. First blood once again.
Can you make it any worse for Fnatic? They completely reset their strategy, you know, picking just for these lanes here, not just bot lane, but, you know, every single lane. Jungle matchup, you're like, you start getting new focus, new Spirit in there, and then Jankos first blood your mid laner.
Well, Fnatic need new Spirit in there because old Spirit's not doing it for them. Jankos, again, picks up first blood. I mentioned this stat at the beginning of the series. I'm going to do it again. 27 games out of H2K's 39. Jankos has been involved in first blood. He's secured 12 of them. He's got 9 assists, and he's died for 6 of them. But like that's 70 to 72% of the games where he's around first blood.
And this is the kind of situation where everything just works for you and your team. We normally don't see a level 3 Hecarim get a first blood in mid lane. No. Like, it just doesn't happen. Because it's, first of all, so hard for you to pull off that gank, so risky as well. If the enemy jungler's there, you just die when you charge in. Kikis and Odoamne going aggressive. Shen will be more than fine in the early game. He's this kind of champion that is so annoying that he actually has a good laning phase against everything.
But note where it's left Jankos. We were talking about how normally Hecarim just goes, okay, jungle item can wait, don't care about that, get me the Phage. What he's done is had the gold to go Hunter's Potion plus the Red Smite to be able to skirmish a little better. Now Kikis top lane has to flash.
So good by Odoamne. By him taunting forward, he forces Kikis to flash, because if Odoamne had just taunted and flashed himself, there would have been no time for Kikis to react. He would have gotten taunted and would just have died straight away because he was already low. So Kikis is forced to flash himself, but this is again the situation where you don't feel confident in anything you do.
So much damage onto YellowStaR. Eats a dazzle and a bunch of autos. Febiven and Vander, with the help of a minion wave, force Rekkles and YellowStaR backwards.
Spirit's going to try and go aggressive now, does have a level advantage. Jankos is no smite for that skirmishing saber, so can't really get the benefit of that early. So finally, we're starting to see Spirit have a little bit of impact, but he spotted this entire time. That Rift Spirit has spotted him out afterwards, so not too much more after the initial pushback.
And just want to go back to this Kikis situation where he flashes. I went back just to see his mana, cooldowns. He had enough mana to use his W. He actually didn't have to flash straight away. He could have just waited, seeing if Odoamne was actually going to taunt flash him, then just eat the orange and flash out himself, and he would have been okay. This is just like nerves. You're just like, oh, yeah. No. I just instantly, I don't want to risk. Maybe I'm going to die from it. And that is, again, something you don't normally see when you play, like, really, really important games.
But, of course, this is the most important game because there's no more room for error. This is do or die for Fnatic, and Kikis pulls that trigger very early. Boots picked up for Jankos, YellowStaR. Again, dancing a little bit here with Vander. Trading some chomps around. Frozen domain. Dirk picked up for Rekkles. DF timing is pretty much a go for Febiven, so he should be able to back and pick that up soon. And then we carry on this 2v2, which in theory, Fnatic should be able to try stomp some sort of authority on.
Yeah, and mid lane as well. It's hard for Cassio to bully Vlad before first back, because you need tier first. You need to obviously not run out of mana. Now you can start spamming away, but the great thing about Vladimir is he builds early magic resistance, and it makes it very hard for Cassio to kill him. So the goal is more to try and push him down towards the turret and be able to actually move within like this square on the minimap that is between all 4 buffs. You want to control that as Cassiopeia, so when your jungler invades Raptor or Wolves, Cassiopeia can move first and join in a 2v2 and therefore stop Jankos from trying to fight off Spirit by control again between the 4 buffs. Just draw that little square in your minimap. Problem for Febiven at the moment is that he doesn't really have a whole lot of control in the lane, and Rio is able to just freely push it in.
They're trying to trade any damage that he can, but they have started to track Jankos a little bit more there. He got spotted through the back of the lane, and there are wards in his blue side jungle. Odoamne and Kikis still trading heavily. Kikis can't quite connect with that, but look, Jankos again going aggressive into the worst off.
2 levels down. Level 7 versus level 5. Stand United is available. Spirit's forced to pounce away. But that actually could be important. Here comes Kikis. Camouflage is available. Pounce forward from Spirit. Spirit's going low. Devastating charge. Spirit's going to need to flash soon if there's no support. Odo gets grounded. He can't get away. Emo play comes up. Very good stun from Febiven. He gets the kill for Fnatic, and the crowd goes wild. Kikis is running low on mana, and Ryu is running for his life. Flash is available. Look at the powder kick. That's going to apply the slow. Miasma coming out in a second. Twin Fang. Let's jump bottom. Now Rekkles and Vander. They want to go. Summon a heal used. Flash is up for Rekkles as Yellow's on the front line. Double flash for H2K. They've traded for Fnatic, and Fnatic are backing away. Nobody's down just yet. Gentlemen, I'm not quite sure if this is... No, it's not over! There's the Pillar of Ice! Now Febiven's running away. Rekkles is able to sidestep the Ardent Blaze. Febiven is going to be helped by Vander, getting the kill. 2-1 to Fnatic.
All of this starts from the aggression from Jankos right back at the beginning into the jungle. H2K, they maybe got their first little flutter by getting the early pickup in the jungle, but Jankos tries to double down on it, going aggressive into the enemy jungle, gets caught out by Spirit with the 2-level disadvantage, and this is where it starts turning back around.
This is absolutely terribly, stupidly bad call from H2K. Why on earth are you trying to invade in here and contest against a jungler who's 2 levels above you, and where the enemy mid laner can also move in and actually join you? This play makes 0 sense from H2K and actually should have cost him even more than it did. They lose Odoamne now, giving a free kill over to Febiven. And Ryu, luckily for him, makes it out, and Jankos actually made it out as well. And then it goes to a bottom lane.
Yeah, from the bottom lane, Fnatic look to try and trade again. Rekkles is the one that actually gets caught by the stun to begin with. But this is just Fnatic trying so hard in this 2 versus 2 to always go aggressive. And look, YellowStaR and Rekkles on a different page. Rekkles backing away to his minion wave, can't really output damage, and from there Fnatic regroup, but the health has already been lost. And suddenly the dash comes forward. Yeah,
you gotta keep in mind, YellowStaR already used his flash. There's 2 flashes on the side of H2K, so when YellowStaR goes aggressive, there's no way out. He actually walks straight into his own death. Well played from an H2K in that bottom lane, and now suddenly they're doing fine in this lane. They have a kill, they're putting some damage down on tower.
Yes, H2K have forced Rekkles away. If you look at the summoner spells, Rekkles flash down, Onslaught of Shadows down from Jankos as well. Production is telling me that Jankos had waited in the bush and jumped on Rekkles just as he was starting to recall. So, Summoner Spell blown in that lane. Stand United and TP up for Odo. If H2K wanted to return the party invites and play in Fnatic's backyard.
That's the problem when you play against Shen. Like, the reason he's such a good pick and one of the absolute greatest picks in the current meta is this whole second global that is much faster than obviously the 4.5-second teleport. And when you try and play aggressive in 2v2 lanes or in one-on-one lanes, Shen ulti joins and always turns it around and you cannot react properly. GP is the only champion up top that can try and assist his team when it happens with his own ulti, but it's not the same impact as the full champion showing up.
Exactly, and the other thing is that GP can't really do anything against Shen going, apart from trying to just put as much damage down as possible. Like, that's the only way you can try and even it up when it comes to actually being
Should be able to throw a bell on him, so when he actually TPs away, the bell just appears with him.
I don't know how that works. It's called a satchel charge. Different spell, different champion.
Whatever. It's all Danish to me.
Kikis going to return to lane as 2v2 going to carry on trading. YellowStaR sidesteps the boomerang blade, eats himself a dazzle. H2K fancy their chances on the hunt. Cosmic Radiance will block a lot of the damage, and here comes Jankos, delivers Rekkles to H2K's waiting hands in 2 easy kills.
Yeah, we just talked about how good Shen is in the current meta when you can have him show up so easily. What a great setup. Vander goes aggressive, pops his own ulti, gets the Shen ulti, and Jankos appears at the same time.
Didn't even die.
This is the coordination.
Whoa. Look at this. Look at this. Jankos, he's going to find Spirit. Sends him backwards and doesn't even die.
At this point, you can do anything if you're H2K. It doesn't even matter. That's crazy. Jankos is a madman.
3 for 3, H2K, first tower blood. Again, Jankos is just going crazy this entire game long. He has a fair amount of money in his pocket as well, and H2K defend topside from it as well. This is how the entire thing starts out in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so first of all, Kikis doesn't have teleport, used it back to lane, so only thing he can do is ulti down, and obviously not the same impact as a Shen showing up, and then Jankos with great pathing around, diving the bottom lane of Fnatic, and this is the thing, it's never 2v2 guys, there's always multiple people joining, and then
this
Jankos
is just incredible.
Like, I don't care. He disrespects against Spirit, dives in, stays alive, like what, 40 HP or something.
Ridiculous.
And kills Spirit as well. Not only getting killed, but also sending a massive message.
If you look at that from Fnatic, that purely has to be a moment where Fnatic will go, what went wrong? How didn't we kill one of them? Vander, Jankos, one of them surely had to die there. And that's got to be a frustrating moment when you look at a series like this.
Hold that thought, Stress, because here comes a power pony! Febiven's not even going to get the petrifying gaze. Ryu's going to sanguine fall away from it, and Jankos gets his third of the game. I mean, it is incredible what H2K are doing.
You want to praise Vander and talk about potential MVP, but then Jankos is like, no, guys, look at me. Just look at what I'm doing in this game. Like, he's playing Hecarim. He got first one level 3. I was like, okay, so that happened, and then he's just been doing everything else. He's sadly not sitting on 100% kill participation.
Oh, really? That's where you're going to go with that?
Not really. I mean, we got to find the negative sometimes.
He could have done better.
He could have been on 100%.
This is like my CSD from last game.
Yeah, pretty much,
Gotta try
actually.
and find something.
Kikis is in trouble because, take a look at the minimap, ladies and gentlemen. Jankos isn't done yet. Onslaught of Shadow is not going to be needed yet. Kikis takes a small knock sideways as he flashed just as Jankos was mid-air. The knockback still applied, and Kikis gets away with his life.
I said Jankos had ult. He was barely
few seconds
unavailable on that ultimate. But,
oh, really? Sidestep
yep.
as well.
And the
beautiful.
Really nice. Again.
I mean, that's the thing, right? When a team just plays like this, where the micro is spot on, the small little movements like dodging a Cassiopeia ulti, surviving with 40 HP when you die for that extra kill, and then the macro as well is just looking very solid. They're reacting well. They're now forcing plays with the Shen and the Hecarim. Like, H2K has just been a much better team today, and they fully deserve this massive advantage in Game 2.
No GP globals at all. There's the massive possibility for a Shen ult.
Vander's kind of fighting on his own here.
Yeah. Support from Spirit, though, coming in from the jungle. And yes, the Stand United was there. Onslaught and Ghost available in a few seconds. And Jankos could have got closer, but Fnatic, okay, they're only 1,000 gold down. I know that's a weird thing to say, but when you consider how many kills they've given up and how much control, Fnatic they have some chances.
Of course, but it's the same problem as the last game where H2K will outscale you. So when you're just slightly down in gold, you're actually technically even further down because the enemy champions benefit so much from not being destroyed early on. Fnatic drafted for laning phase, counterpick mid, had counterpick bot lane, had counterpick into jungle technically because they locked in that Nidalee and Hecarim was the answer.
Plus 40 CS.
Gank playing top lane, and yet you're down 1,000 gold.
So it's not quite as damning as the last game when you look at the scaling, because I would say that GP, the Cassio, do have some presence late game if they get there. I'm talking like 40 minutes. You're looking at me as if I'm crazy a little bit here.
I agree on GP. Yep. My problem with Cassiopeia, especially late game fights, is how hard it is for her to actually deal consistent DPS. Yeah. Because there is a Taric, a Shen, a Vladimir, and a Hecarim, who all four, with Civil ulti, by the way, buffing them, would be in your face.
That's true.
So Cassiopeia is spending half her time running away. She doesn't even have shoes. Like, it's it really is difficult for Cassiopeia to nail proper late game DPS, but I agree, like, in terms of numbers, if you let her sit there and like hammer away for 5-6 seconds, it's a ton of damage.
H2K won't do that because they've shown they pull the trigger at every single opportunity. And for the third game in a row, every time Fnatic have an opening or a weakness, H2K jump. I mean, remember Rekkles, he lost that flash while we were in a replay. Within a minute and a half of that, Jankos sets up a perfect tower dive from behind the tower, from the Tribush rather.
Yeah, you remember that time where Kikis used his TP back to lane?
Instantly.
So H2K were like, well, they have no teleport now, they just have a GP ulti, let's make a play bottom lane, and pop Vander's ulti, and then TP in from Odoamne, and instantly you got 2 kills again. So it's great use of all the globals from H2K and knowledge of enemy cooldowns on whatever it is. Items, summoner spells, other spells.
Every spell.
Every spell.
Every spell indeed. Jankos is, I would say, getting picked on here, but it's actually YellowStaR that's in trouble. Knockback from the charge. Stand United is being channeled, as is the Onslaught of Shadows. Flash away from Spirit, and now Odo's a little overextended, but it simply won't matter. No teleport from Kikis. Cannon Barrage is still available while Kikis is pushing into the top inner turret.
Yeah, Kikis is going to try and punish this. He's relying on the fact that H2K can't do too much, so he's calling Odoamne back to the lane to hold on to this. So does get another global, means Odoamne won't have the option to join fights for a little while, whereas Kikis will have his ult and his teleport back up fairly shortly. So could potentially turn out to be a win for Fnatic, but they have to use that. It's no good. It's no good just having the cooldown when when Odoamne doesn't. You have to utilize it and actually punish H2K somehow.
Yeah, Odoamne is currently sitting on about 90 seconds cooldown.
Not a big window.
Remaining. So your window, it's gonna be like what, 40 seconds? And a little dodge here from H2K. The small things look very fancy every time.
Yeah, but look, Febiven forced to use his flash again. Yeah. So it's just a matter of rinse and repeat, and then Jankos will find a way to make it work next time. It's an investment.
It is.
Waiting for some interest to gain before exactly taking that goal.
And now we sit in a situation, guys, where H2K, their shot calling has come fantastically easy. Yep. Easy. It's just like, guys, you want to go mid, sure. You want to force Dragon, sure. You want to force Baron, sure.
Easier than talking about it.
Yeah, almost. Because at this point, if you're H2K, you actually want Fnatic to come down and fight you, so you can Shen ulti on the Hecarim and dive straight at them.
Well, you want to take a quick look at the itemization.
Easy.
We'll do that in a moment. Tia plus Morello. Febiven's running down Ryu. 2 ignites on the side of Fnatic, so they'll be able to cut through some of that healing eventually.
A lot of the healing.
Once that happens, but for Fnatic, they've decided to group up. Counts forward from Spirit. He's really feeling his hunger here. Ryu's going to go down to the culling. Fnatic get their second kill of the game. We'll be able to pick up a tower for no reply, and that was a good proactive play.
A fairly uncharacteristic situation there for H2K, where Febiven's just collecting bottom and nobody actually really thinks about mid. They didn't track Fnatic, but good opportunity spotted by Fnatic to push down the tower, get a kill onto the Vlad, maybe slow down H2K's momentum somewhat.
Yeah, and Ryu definitely not expecting Fnatic to be so aggressive. Hold on to his flash for quite some time. Used it then a little bit too late. Ulti from Odoamne was still on like 10-second cooldown. Not available either. A good play here from Fnatic, and the kind of plays you gotta make now. You're down 0-2, you're falling behind in this game. After the dive in there, more people jumping, Ryu ends up flashing over, but Rekkles is able to kill him. And that's again a good play. Get a tower down,
And also, if you go back to a few moments ago, where Odo had those plays elsewhere on the map, we mentioned that small window of opportunity between the Stand United timing and teleports. They used it with a few seconds to spare. It feels like we're grabbing at straws just a little bit here, but that was one of the first times this series Fnatic have pulled off a successful, proactive play when comboing their entire team against H2K. Got them a kill, got them a tower, got them a decent gold lead, but Jankos is going toe-to-toe here with Spirit. Cannon Barrage comes down because Stand United's going to deliver Odo onto Spirit's waiting hands and just another kill.
I mean, just as you praised him for using that window, well, now Odoamne has ulti again. So don't try and challenge 1v1 because he will show up. Rest of H2K diving.
Febiven's in so much trouble, and he is instantly popped mid-air from the devastating charge. The tower's helping Fnatic ever so slightly because the minion wave has been cleared out, and Fnatic can hold on to the objective for a few moments longer. I don't think it'll last all that long as H2K regroup, resurge, and put pressure to take the tower.
Jankos is so very far ahead when it comes to damage right now. He may not be ahead on far more levels, but he doesn't care. H2K are just having him charge in time and time again. And apparently the horse just steps on the snake, and suddenly H2K massive lead for themselves.
Yeah, just like that, one mistake from Fnatic cost them the kill and 2 towers. And all of that goodwill, all of that potential.
You built them up,
I know,
they
all that potential.
Back down.
Oh, I didn't knock anyone down.
Well, they
kind of
knocked themselves down.
H2K knocked Fnatic all the way over.
Yeah, I really feel like a Spirit. How do you know what he's thinking?
Thing is,
I'm just gonna run in 1v1 here. Oh, Shenel. Oh, never mind.
And while it is, you know, in that moment, I think all of Fnatic across the series have had questionable plays. Odo's being run down, but even that, no real threat, as Fnatic just simply were not grouped up quickly enough. Solace, though, kudos, they have taken the tower.
Yeah, second or third play that Fnatic have come like this, and it's actually giving them a slight gold lead here, which, considering the amount of kills, but Spirit going in like this, why are you going on him?
He didn't even land a spear. Just a pure tilt play, honestly, from Spirit. But as you said, they are still even in gold. We're looking at like that next big team fight that's going to happen.
That makes or breaks it.
That makes or breaks it completely. Fnatic doesn't win that fight with all odds against them because the composition from H2K is so good in these fights here, diving the backline. And all Fnatic has with their comp is backline. Because you got a squishy jungler, a squishy top lane, a squishy mid lane, a squishy AD carry. So you only have backline. And H2K's comp is built diving that backline.
That was exactly what you were talking about, was Febiven, sure, he can have damage theoretically, but if he never gets to use it, then he's not going to do anything in fights. He instantly got torn flashed in that. Rekkles.
Yep, Rekkles is in trouble. Flash away. He's going to get out with his life. Now Spirit's the one in trouble. Jankos used everything to try to take Rekkles down. Cannon Barrage, this might be the team fight. The Radiance is down. H2K have blocked some damage, but a shutdown kill onto Jankos. Fnatic get a small reprieve from the pressure. And are they going to chance Baron?
Well, H2K just used their main ways for him to dive that backline on trying to kill Rekkles. Only Hecarim ulti down. Shen ulti down, they're starting the Baron. This might be the turning point for Fnatic.
If they can get the Baron, H2K have come in. Hemo Plague's on 3. Odo's looking for the Spirit's Refuge. Baron is being focused. It's secured by Fnatic, but at what cost? Ryu's got himself a kill. 3 members of Fnatic make it away with their lives.
Fnatic out with 3 of the Baron buff, and you could see Ryu was trying to get the damage down, but Fnatic getting just these little exchanges, whether it was the tower or the better trade from the fight, have now managed to actually secure themselves for the first time in 3 games a solid platform. They have held on through the early onslaught, and H2K can't really contend with this right now. They could not go in 3 versus 5. They got a good amount of damage down, let's not be wrong about that, but still, Fnatic come out the victors from this entire scenario.
Yes, good for Fnatic. They actually managed to punish H2K, but again, we gotta look at how they're forcing some of these plays on the side of H2K, using both Shen ulti and Hecarim ulti and trying to just kill Rekkles. Like, first of all, why do you even blow ulti early as Jankos there? Just run next to him, and when he then dashes away, you ulti after him. There's absolutely no reason to use everything at first. So whenever H2K have been greedy, been a bit disrespectful with some of their cooldowns, with some of their ultis, Fnatic have punished them. Yeah. And that's why Fnatic is ahead in gold and now have a Baron buff. So everything bad that happened to H2K in this game is honestly, is on them. It's themselves who've been forcing things they didn't have to and wasting cooldowns.
And now it's up to Fnatic to punish further.
Yeah.
Now it's up to Fnatic to use those opportunities that H2K have presented and actually stamp authority in the game. Still, it's only a 2,000 gold lead, and Fnatic are even on towers, but they need to use this entire Baron buff to get absolute control, because Deficio is hammered on about the scaling of H2K's comp. Fnatic cannot put themselves in a position where their very squishy team can just get run over.
Jankos was trying to come in through the flank there, try and get in on top of Fnatic, but they had the vision control. They want to go now. Ryu's got the shield.
Fnatic are split up. Febi's already killed. Stand United plus on the hunt. Easy kill. Odo and Jankos now turn their attention over to Rekkles and YellowStaR. The rest of Fnatic, they're pushing through the middle lane. This game's getting a bit crazy. Shadow Dash taunt plus a charge sends YellowStaR backwards, and the inner turret middle was secured. So the cost was 2 lives. Fnatic are pushing in the top lane, but how much can H2K take?
H2K will have 4 people in the bottom side trying to defend with Ryu against Gangplank and Nidalee, so it's going to end up being an attempted trade here. Fnatic will get the tower first because it is Baron bumped up. Do they have the GPL? No, it was used before, so they cannot deny H2K's push at the same time, but H2K don't have minions for now.
They don't, though. Minion lane is a little while behind. Fnatic, they should be able to break open the base, I believe. Baron-empowered minions on that tower. Take a look at this. Ryu's doing the best he can. Here comes Jankos. Onslaught not available. Kikis and Spirit put some damage down, but the tower still stands. Fnatic, they've lost control with that fight, but they are very close to taking that tower down if they can get back there in the next few minutes.
In the end, despite losing 2 members, by getting a second tower, Fnatic keep the 2,000 gold lead. But this is again what H2K's comp is designed to do. Dive the backline. And all Fnatic have is backline. So obviously if Febiven goes down, this will happen every single team fight. We might have to see Fnatic get one of these super messy games, like we're seeing right now, where everything is kind of split up. You just kind of 1v1, 2v2 all over the place. So they don't have to 5-on-5 against H2K.
Oh, hang on. Speaking of.
All right, so we jump back to live. A bunch of abilities have been used, looking at ultimates. And H2K forced to run away. Fnatic, they had control of the jungle, and it looks like they're going to siege up this inner turret bottom.
Again, it's good for Fnatic. Just keep the pressure going. Keep forcing these crazy fights around the map where H2K is not coordinated. Ryu was sitting in the top lane where that fight started, meaning H2K had to just disengage. And another tower for Fnatic.
Baron buff has expired on them, so Fnatic can't quite push just as easily, but Ryu, as you were talking about, has been trying to bounce between lanes and has been a little bit late, obviously not running the TP again. This is a 3rd game in a row we're seeing the Ghost Vlad come out, and it has served him well in the first 2. He's in a good spot in this game as well, but he just isn't quite matching Fnatic's pressure on the map now when Fnatic are moving from lane to lane. We've seen a couple of fights that Ryu's been in, but that one he wasn't able to help save bottom tower. It was very low as it was.
And I think if you step back and you look at Fnatic's play, yes, it's become chaotic, a little bit all over the place. But I think crucially, Fnatic have not given up yet. They've not conceded this game. They are separating, instead of trying to play as a 5-man unit, they've become smaller, 2-man, 3-man skirmish groups. It's much easier to communicate and coordinate when there's less people involved. And it's allowing Fnatic to actually run H2K around the map when H2K gave Fnatic that opportunity. Because don't forget, it's because Jankos invaded and gave up a kill early. It's because Jankos was a bit greedy, trying to take out Rekkles earlier as well.
Wasting ulti from Hecarim, which is one of the key ways for H2K to win these fights here. But it looked way worse for Fnatic earlier. Now it's actually looking pretty decent for them, despite H2K having this good team fighting comp. They're going for Ryu.
He'll get out.
Not able to chase further.
Not enough damage from Fnatic yet. Full channel on the culling comes out. Cannon barrage as well. Sanguine pool will allow Ryu to escape for now. Spirit's still not done. Very difficult working through that Rylai's though. Baron's only up in a minute and a half. Cloud in a minute 20. If Fnatic get it, it really helps them out. Plus 50 move speed to get into position to contest could be pivotal, especially because of how important it is for Febiven to be jumping first. You know, he doesn't want to get surprised. He doesn't want to get flanked.
Fnatic should have the area around the Baron to be able to secure vision control. You can see they've got 1 pink on their side, 1 in the inventory, and only 1 red sweeper though at the same time. So they cannot secure full control of the area without recalling for extra pink wards.
Yeah, this is where Fnatic need to kind of calm down and talk about exactly that. You know, guys, we need pinks because we need to set up Baron. So when we see H2K coming at us, we can actually disengage from the Baron and take the fight. If you stand 5 men in that Baron pit, trying to nuke it down when a Hecarim flies in with Vladimir behind him, you die. So Fnatic, again, they want these split-up fights around the jungle. Notice how Odoamne saved his ulti before, even though Ryu was under pressure, because that ulti is so key for H2K to use onto Jankos when he dives in to make sure they can lock down these squishies. So Fnatic are not allowed to take them down one by one.
Gentlemen, we don't talk a whole lot about the items, but GA picked up for Jankos along with that Triforce and Cinderhulk. Rylai's Hourglass for Ryu. Void Staffs for Spirit and Febiven. A lot of those big breakpoints have been hit already. Rekkles as well, Phantom Dancer, Black Cleaver, Ghostblade. So whoever's going to be able to keep that damage down. Fnatic with a 4,000 gold lead. Well, I call it 3.5.
Spirit really needs a sweeper here, though. I'm not sure why he's sitting on a trinket when he already has a tracking knife. We want to be able to deny vision from H2K. Ryu's going aggressive. You can see Rekkles on top side. Gets the stun on YellowStaR.
Jankos is holding on to the onslaught for now. The rest of Fnatic starting to group up. Cosmic Radiance has already been used by Vander, as has the Cannon Barrage from Kikis. Rekkles is on the front line. Gets caught by the Hemo Plate. A flash forward from Ryu. Where is Jankos? He's looking for the onslaught. Throws it down and catches two. The rest of Fnatic are scattered. Rekkles is in trouble. He's zoned away on the back line trying to deal with Odoamne. Kikis is killed thanks to Jankos, but the GA was popped. So it's a kill for an item cooldown. Fnatic, they are thwarted. Almost all their summoner spells blow.
They had to use so much, and again, Odoamne is being relentless in these fights. He's getting delivered right next to Febiven and instantly getting the taunt off every single time, and it reduces Febiven's damage fairly significantly. Forced him to ult away from the rest of the fight just to slow the Shen down, and Febiven couldn't quite balance the damage for the rest of it, so Fnatic don't have access to all of their tools. We've seen how much damage they do have when they can get it out, but not every time in every fight.
Yeah, how will Febiven stay alive in the next fight when there's gonna be a Hecarim ulti flying towards him? No flash on this Cassiopeia, no protection from his team, no proper peel either. It's great engage from Ryu with 3 members stepping forward, forcing Rekkles to flash out of the fight and then chase further. H2K here would love to get way more than they're actually getting, only getting that 1 kill and having the GA pop. But Febiven wasn't really able to join his team either. So he's simply not able to properly chase. But getting all the summoners, it is another win for H2K. Just wait for this next fight. Look for the ulti from Jankos. Febiven, he's gonna be the target.
He will be indeed. Dragon is up, Baron is up. On the hunt is used.
Why? That was way too aggressive.
Pillar of Ice there from YellowStaR. He's going to disengage for H2K, and they've lost at least one of their primary forms of engage.
Yeah, that was not a smart ulti from Forgiven, and where we praised H2K in Game 1 and Game 2 for playing very slow and steady and not really being too over-aggressive at any points. This game, they've definitely been too over-aggressive a lot of times. But starting this one.
Stellar Ford coming down for Odo. He completes it, so joins in the river, taking stock. Stand United available, as is the Onslaught of Shadows of Fnatic. They've also backed away from Baron for now.
Yeah, this is where you start pushing mid as H2K, so you have a way to run and challenge Fnatic to either take the Baron or recall. They're moving up 2 members.
The other thing that it would do is also force out the Gangplank ultimate, and then Fnatic could look to rush the Baron. It's a risky play, but that's only if H2K commit everybody, because it would slow down their push, but they wouldn't have that team fight tool available.
H2K waiting for that Civ ulti to be ready. Just a few more seconds. Jankos does have his ulti.
Look at Ryu.
Constantly look for where Febiven is on the map without his flash.
Ryu's got a good flank
Ryu's
here.
coming in. Here's Jankos.
Rekkles is in trouble. Jankos has found him. Rekkles is running for his life. Rekkles will be going down. Sanguine Pool has allowed Ryu to get to the back line. Now Febiven falls. That's a double kill for H2K. They turn their attention to Kikis, and H2K have routed Fnatic.
As we have said time and time again in this game, it is impossible for Fnatic to win these straight-on 5-on-5 team fights because the entire comp from H2K is built around killing these squishy backline targets, and they're able to get another great engage.
But Deficio, look at it, it's only Spirit alive!
Not for long! The Nexus turret is being focused, minions are making their way in. H2K with 30-second death timers should be able to get supers. They might even set their sights on the Nexus.
They're going to look to continue pushing. They still have this wave with them. They want to end this game. They have been looking fantastic all 3 games, and H2K are about to shut Fnatic out.
Look at the player cam. Spirit is done. YellowStaR stands in the way, but it doesn't matter. H2K take down the Nexus turrets. H2K take down the champions of Europe, the former kings of Europe, and H2K advance to the semi-finals.